Hi, welcome back to Blam Blam Truckers on Bees. Once again, doing a solo video about EverQuest. Now we're going to be talking about the Enchanter, which this is just all the spells you get at level 1. Look at this. Look at all these spells you get at level 1. This is not reflective of Classic, guys. Most of these are from non-Classic. We've got a few here from Classic at level 1. Pendrill's Animation, Shallow Breath, Minor Illusion, Minor Shielding, Taper Enchantment. There's a lot of stuff enchanters are good at. Anyway, these are illusions that come at later expansions. If you look on the expansion thing here, it'll show you which expansion it's from. And these are all just illusions. Enchanters are illusionists. They get strengthen. They get weaken. This is all at level 1. Weaken, strengthen, minor this and minor illusion, this, that, and the other thing, lull. Then we get to level 2 and things get a little less messy, which is good. And I can't get this ad to go away. Let's see. Nope. Still taking up the same ad space. That's why Alakazam is no longer findable with a Google search. You got to type it in by hand because it is an obnoxious website. Useful, though, for Classic here and for EverQuest in general. All right. So we are looking at these classes as they work in groups. I'm not going to be covering soloing with enchanters. Actually, I will, just for fun. Charm something, have it attack something else, then kill both pets. Then there should be your pet should, with some buffs, be able to kill the other pet. I'm sorry, the other mob. So your pet will kill the mob, and then it won't have much life left, hopefully. If it does, have it kill another mob until it's very low on life, then break charm and kill it. Rinse and repeat. Another great way to pull single target is get up your sword pet, pull with a debuff or a choke. You do have one good dot line. It's not great, but it is good. And then once it hits you, your pet will attack it, and you just back away slowly while your pet kills it. Your sword pet is a very powerful pet, but it can't be commanded. All right. Enough about that. That's not why we're here. If you are looking for damage, unless you're charm petting, you're looking at a different class. If you are charm petting, you're one of the most damaging classes in the game. Tanking, again, unless you're charm petting, you're really looking at a different class. And I know you can build it in such a way that you can tank as an enchanter or any cloth class with enough hit points. That's the exception, not the rule. Maybe it should be the rule, but, healing, you get no healing spells whatsoever. So of the main 3, you can't do any of it. Not really. You're not great at damage without a charm pet. You're not great at tanking, and you cannot heal. Having said all that, of the other 3, you have all the tools you will ever need to pull except for snare and sow, which you used to have a speed enhancer, but too many people complained about it. You could turn into a wolf. You had the same illusion wolf that druids have. Too many people complained about it, so it got nerfed. You are the king of crowd control. There is literally no better class at crowd control. And you can buff and debuff with the best of them. You're pretty much considered the either number 1 or number 2 in the game for buffing and debuffing. And as we go through some of these spells, you'll start to see why. You are wanted in every single group. And I hear the bards going, "We can mez too!" Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can mez up to 3 mobs and charm 1. That's 4. 4 mobs you can handle. As an enchanter, at one point, I was telling this in another story, I had 9 mobs mezzed. Yes, I did. 9. 9 is more than 4. I had 9 mobs mezzed, and some idiot trained us, and I had to handle another like 7 or 8 mobs. I lost count of how many mobs I was keeping mesmerized while my group dealt with them one by one. But enchanters can do that. Yes, they can, because they get the best mezzes in the game. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Sorry, I'm trying to make you laugh. I don't know if it's working. I don't have a live audience. Chanters there's nobody even close. Their mesmerizations are the best in the game. They just are. It's why it's so annoying when you get to like 52 or 3 or whatever it is, and you can't mez anymore because you are now fighting mobs. Instead of having a chance of landing on a mob 6 levels higher than you, they capped all the mezzes from original at 55, so you can't mesmerize anything over level 55. And there's a couple of levels there where you can't mez, and it's like, why am I even playing this game? Why am I playing this game now if I can't mez? All I do is put things on pause. They call it enchanter. They should call it the pause class. I put things on pause. I go, pause. Let's go through some spells. You'll start seeing what I'm talking about. Hopefully the picture starts coming into focus. I'm doing these in the same way I do a lot of other teaching, where I show you the elements and then I put it together so that as you start looking at elements, you can start putting it together without me. Yay! We're using our brains today. Not a lot, just a little. It's a game. We're trying to have fun. We're not trying to write a master's thesis on this. So I'm going to do a different search just for the first level here. Level 1, and I'm going to go to expansion original because, frankly, all these spells are not what we're talking about. Hit search, and in original EverQuest, level 1 you get True North. Useful in the original game, not useful now. You get Lull. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lull, which we've talked about this many times. Let's get out Bone Crusher again, boys and girls. Here's Bone Crusher. Say hi, kitties. Hi, Bone Crusher. All right. So this is his normal aggro radius. You hit him with a lull, bam, he can't see anything. If his buddy Megatron is standing next to him and you lull Bone Crusher, so Bone Crusher's, aggro is like this, Megatron's aggro radius is like this. You hit Megatron and he goes running after you, and Bone Crusher's sitting there going, dum de dum de dum de dum de dum de dum de da. I'm pretty sure that was actually the melody for the Heidi 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 from whose line is it anyway? The song they do. Anyway, level 1, if you have the cash, you can buy all these spells. They're not that expensive, but you generally don't have that kind of cash till you've got a few levels under your belt, and then you don't need most of these. You get your first sword pet, Pendrell's Animation. It is literally a sword sitting there, just being like, hi, I'm a sword. Do I have any swords? I have a knife. Hold on. Give me a second. Very dangerous knife here, except for the dangerous part. They got rid of that in my multi-tool. Duddy. Multi-tool. That means I'm a many different kinds of tools. Look at that. I've got a knife. It's like a sword. It's just a sword floating there. And it defends you. You cannot command it to attack things. You have to get something to attack you, and then it will attack whatever's attacking you. Very useful in particular circumstances, not very useful for grouping. Though some people, keep it out instead of getting a summoned pet, and a charmed pet, and I'm like, you don't know your class. You have no idea what you're doing, do you? I do. It's just a lot of things to concentrate on. Play something else. Sorry, I should be more forgiving and giving more grace, and I apologize that I'm not. I am an enchanter snob because I played this for so many years, so many different builds, so many different times. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to teach it to you if you want to listen. This is going to be a long one, folks. I have way too much to say about this class. All right. Next is Shallow Breath. Shallow Breath is a dot. Boy, that was easy. It also, like most of the dots for enchanters, is a debuff. So this one decreases strength and agility. Agility decreases armor class. It's actually a really nice spell, and you will not be using this spell line much in later game. You might find some times when you're throwing it in, but this is not why you're in a group. It's not what you're there for. And frankly, dots are often a pain in the butt to manage when you're trying to mez different things. Minor Illusion, you turn into a chair or a plant or something nearby. It's fun. You're not going to use it. You will if you want to RP and this, that, and the other thing. Minor shielding, that gives you AC and hit points. You're going to use that line a lot. You're going to have that up all the time. If it's not minor shielding, it's the next one in the row. Taper enchantment. This is a cancel magic. You cancel magic. As an enchanter, that's one of your top jobs in the group. It goes mezzing, charming, canceling magic. You should always have a root up. You should always have a cancel magic up. All the time. That's not true. Canceling magic is like after buffing. So it's charming. I'm sorry, it's mezzing, charming, buffing, debuffing, mostly buffing, then canceling magic. All right, and buffing and debuffing isn't something you generally do in combat, but it does come up once in a while, especially haste, which you have the best hastes in the game. You speed up your melee buddies, except for bards, but they stack somehow. You speed up your buddies' attack speed better than anybody, except for bards. And it's a very short buff. It's rather annoying to keep it up. Wish they gave it to a different class. I have enough to do. So when you don't see this until Kunark, but when Kunark hits, and you see it a little bit before Kunark, is mobs with buffs on them. They're around. But in Kunark, it seems like high level, every mob has a buff on it. Which makes sense, because all the adventurers have buffs on them too, right? So anyway, you can get rid of their buffs with your cancel magic line. And you're the best at it. By far, nobody even comes close. So get the Mez on, then strip enchantment. Sorry, Mez, Tash, strip enchantment. Not even necessarily in that order. Sometimes it's get everything mezzed, so it's all sitting there. You've got minutes to play with now. Go around to each mob, strip off their enchantment. If you accidentally strip off your mez, put it back on. Stun them and put it back on. You get the best stuns in the game. I know paladins and clerics get amazing stuns and wizards get amazing stuns. They do. They really do. But yours are just a different thing altogether. Reclaim energy. That allows you to get some mana back from by getting rid of your pet. I don't know if I've ever used that spell on any class more than once or twice. Back when I first played a mage, I think I used the spell once or twice. I don't use it as a pet, especially since you're not using your sword pet. I don't usually get all my sword pets because once I get charm, I don't sword pet at all anymore. I've done it a few times while I was soloing and I didn't feel like dealing with charm pets, but why would I solo? I'm an enchanter. All I have to do is be an enchanter and not be in roleplay, and I'm getting not be anonymous, and I'm getting group invites. Hey, can you come help us out in Lower Guck? I'm in a group right now, but thanks for asking that first. So no, I can't come help you out in Lower Guck. Notice how I don't have an LFG tag up. Anyway, next is Strengthen. You get a small line of buffs that increases the damage that people do by increasing their strength, melee classes. It's nice. If there's no druid in the group with you, throw it on there. If there's no shaman in the group with you who gets the exact same buffs, throw it on there. But if there is a shaman or a druid or even a beast lord, this isn't your job. You have more than enough to do. Weaken. You will use this spell from time to time. It makes the enemy lose strength and eventually some other things. It's nice. If you have the time, by all means, use it. If you have the time on a mob, on a raid mob, on an endgame mob, use it. Beyond that, I'm busy. I got stuff to do. I'm mezzing. I'm mezzing and I'm charming. If you want me to do more than mezz and charm, I'm not your guy. Can you buff? Yeah, I guess so. Can you, except for clarity. Clarity is a must. Can you debuff? I'm trying here. I only have so much mana. What do you want me to use it on? I'd rather use it to mezz and charm, right? Yeah, right? That's what you want me in the group for. It is. Believe me. Trust me. I've done this before. I'm such a jerk right now. Anyway, let's do a... there's also Illusion Broken Skull Drowned. That is not an original spell. I don't know why it's classified that way. Illusion Death Fist Pawn. Again, not a spell from original. Don't know why it's classed that way. So we're going to do the search again for any. Oh, look. All the illusions from Pool come back. And whatever AALRIS is. ALARIS. The Land Before Time, or whatever it is. Here we go. Level 2. Mesmerize! Now you're a real cleric. Go buy that. You will use this spell from 1 until 55. I am not kidding. This is the best spell to use when Charm breaks. When Charm breaks and the pet comes running at you and starts punching you in the face, the first thing you do is you get off whatever color stun you have. You just hit that color stun. It's a super fast cast. Get it off, and now the mob is going, hey! And you have just enough time to land Mesmerize. Mesmerize will eventually last about 30 seconds. That's all you want. Now you Tash it again, and you Charm it again, and everybody's happy. Usually it goes that smoothly. Break, Charm breaks randomly. Ow. It hurts. They punch you in the face. That's when you know your Charm broke, is when the mob punches you in the face. Stun them with color. Hit them with your level 2 Mez. Tash them. Charm them. And when Mesmerize wears off, send them back into battle. Illusion Human. You can be a human if you want to. You get the best illusions. You get tons of illusion spells. It's awesome. You get a million of them later on and later, much later expansions. But you can be any race in the game as an enchanter. You can run around as any one of them. It's really cool. Then you get your first Tash, Tashina. All it does is reduce magic resist, but it is completely irresistible. I don't know if there's any mobs in the game that can resist Tash. I haven't come across one. That doesn't mean they don't exist. It just means I haven't seen it. You get another sword pet. Do you want this sword pet? Probably. It's significantly better than your level 1 sword pet. You don't have Charm yet. However, and you're not grouping yet. You're not. You're relying on that little dot you got and the dagger you started with. Unless you're a twink, which at the start of the server, there are no twinks. Buy Mez. If you can, buy Tash. Those are the first 2 spells you want to buy. Now you're an enchanter. You can do 90% of what you need to do, which is mezzing, with these 2 spells. You could technically get to 55 with these 2 spells. I don't recommend it. Get the better versions. They're better. Level 3, you get Fear. You get all the fears. You do. You're great at fearing. You might use this. It's a perfectly valid way to crowd control, especially if you have a snare. You don't get a snare. There's other things you can use it for. We're talking about regular grouping. You're probably never going to use this. Color Flux. This is the first of your color line. Get this spell. It stuns the mob for 4 seconds. It is a PBAE spell, meaning that everything in a radius around you of about melee range gets stunned. So what did I just tell you about what to do when Charm breaks? You're going to stand up automatically when they start trying to eat you. Hit your color spell, Color Flux in this case. Hit them with your level 2 Mez. Tash them, charm them, and send them back into battle. Haze, you get an armor buff that you can cast on other people and your pet. You might want to do that. It will be overwritten by the Cleric's Holy Armor line. If there's a Cleric in your group, you don't need it. Otherwise, use it. It only costs you a little bit of mana, which you are always going to be on the... If you are doing everything you can, you will always be at about 80% mana, which doesn't sound low to you guys if you've never played an enchanter before, but 80% is about where I like to stop because I don't know what's coming next. Charm, my job is to put everything in order, into perfect order for you. so that you can handle it. My job is to control the flow of battle, and I'm very, very good at it. I'm not just crowd control. I'm the king of crowd control when I'm playing an enchanter. I am everything you want in a group member. I will charm, I will mez, and I will watch my mana and make sure no matter what else happens, I die first. Nobody else dies before I die. That's my code as enchanter. I die first. If you keep me alive, I will keep you alive. I can't keep that promise, but boy, do I come close most of the time. Some people do not respect Mez, and they break Mez, and if you break it, you bought it, you're going to die. I'm going to let the mob kill you before I put it back on pause if you do it to me 3 times in a row. Then you're going to figure out, hey, I probably shouldn't break Mez anymore. I should let the main assist do that. Notice how I didn't say the tank. The tank is usually the main assist, but not always. We get another illusion at 3. 4, enfeeblement. Again, it's a debuff. It's nice. You should use it when you have the mana. If you don't, nobody really cares. Unless it's if it's a end raid mob, which is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about raiding. At raiding, you will be using your debuffs. Why not? If there's room on the mob, because mobs can only take so many buffs and debuffs. So dots are more important to have on there. Tash is more important to have on there. And Mallow is more important to have on there. And then if druids or necros can get their spell resist debuffs on there, they got to get on there too. So everybody can hit. But if there's room, and there usually is, toss on your enfeeblement. Toss on... Shaman is going to be handling the slows, so you don't have to. All right, level 4, enfeeblement. An upgrade to your dot. Yay! Hey, now we're not just decreasing strength and agility. No, it was always a dot. Nice. Bigger dot. Much nicer. Gate. If you're a caster, you get gate. You can go back to your bind point. Very nice. Most classes, I say, always have gate up. That is not true for chanters. You're going to die first. Invisibility. You get invisibility first. You're the best at it. You can also cast Invis versus Undead. You're really cool. Don't do any damage, but you're really cool. Eye of Confusion. It's a blindness. I don't think I even bothered getting this spell. Sentinel. That's a waste of time. Illusion Wood Elf. After I hit 50, I'll come back and get some illusion spells. Root. You get it at level 6. Once you get it, keep it. It is one of those spells, if you can. There are so many spells you need to have up. That root is your backup to Mez. If you can't Mez CC, you must root CC. You should be able to root CC as well as you Mez CC. Most chanters can't. Yeah. Lesser Shielding. It's your shielding upgrade. Get it, cast it, keep it up. You're going to be punched in the face by your charmed pet a lot. You're going to be punched in the face by their mobs a lot. You want AC, you want hit points. This is not rocket science. Soothe, upgrade to Lull, See Invisible, and we're pretty much running out of new stuff. You get Chaotic Feedback, which is your one and only... Nope, no it's not. Chaotic Feedback is is the first of your damaging stuns. You get a line of damaging stuns. You get a line of PBAE stuns. You get to enchant silver. You get to all the enchanting. Whenever you want to make magic items with trade skills and you need something enchanted, you have to go to an enchanter. How counterintuitive is that? Cancel magic. Much more powerful than whatever that first one was up there. It will remove 1 buff. Enchant silver. Mass enchant silver. Yay, wonderful. Enchant clay at level 8. Alliance. This makes people like you. It increases your faction by 100. So to make people like you, to do quest turn-ins and to sell, you cast an illusion on yourself to be the same race as the person you're talking to, and then you cast alliance on them. And if it works, and it often does, you go up in faction with them by 100, and hopefully it increases your, if you're not already indifferent or amiable or whatever it is, it lowers the vendor's prices. So you get the best deals. Bind Sight. This is such an amazing and fun spell back in the day. I use it when I'm playing a wizard on raids so I can see what's going on, because otherwise you're just sitting there going, please bring a mob for me to nuke. But when I'm bind sighting around, I get to see what everybody else sees. Not something you're going to use a lot as an enchanter. Maybe for scouting out pulls. Another illusion for Gnomies. Level 9. I'm just going to bring this up to the top of the web page because why not? Languid Pace. Your first slow. It reduces attack speed. If there's no shaman or bard in the group, you're going to be doing it. Whirl Till You Hurl. A different stun line. You get 3 stun lines. Damaging stun line, area effect stun line, and long-term stun line. That's this, baby. 7.5 seconds of stun. It's nice. I don't recommend it. There's only 8 slots on your mana bar, and you need Tash. You need low-level mez. You need your current level mez. You need Charm. You need those 4 up all the time. And color. Did I say color? You need Tash, color, low level mez, current level mez, charm. That's 5. That's 5. That's over half your mana bar. Clarity, you're not going to keep clarity up. You're going to do clarity on the entire group at once and get it off your mana bar so you can get stuff that you actually need on your mana bar on your spell bar for playing the game. You have too many options. Focus on what you need to do. All right, level 9, Whirl Till You Hurl, Ebbing Strength. Again, it's a debuff. You might have room for it. Killen's Animation. You have Charm already. No, you don't. Do you? Nope, you don't get Charm till 11. You may want to buy this. I think you have to run all the way. Let's check. Let's see where this is sold at. Killen's Animation. Open a new tab. Yay, it works. Sold by 4. That's not a good sign. Crescent Reach. That's on the moon. That's not in Classic. High Keep. This is probably where you're going to have to go to get it. The Mines of Glooming Deep. Not in Classic. The Plane of Knowledge. Not in Classic. You have to run to High Keep to get most of your animation spells after like the second or third one. Not worth the run. I don't care who you are. At level 9, the run to High Keep is perilous and dangerous. You should not be doing it. You should be focused on leveling. That being said, I've done it. You do what you can. You are who you are, and if you want to do something like that because you think it's fun and cool, then you're playing the game right. Go do something fun and cool. And you're probably going to die a couple times trying to either get through East Corona or High Pass or Kithakor Forest at night. Kithakor Forest during the day you got a shot at. Level 10. Some Thule illusions we're going to ignore. Serpent Sight. It gives you infravision. Yay. Or you can just turn up light gain in your options menu. Memory Blur. This is really nice. You won't use it much, but it's really nice. Memblur does exactly what it says. It makes the mob forget. It clears their aggro list. So you're running, and later mezzes have Memblur built into them. Some level of Memblur built into them. So you're running through a zone and you get 5 guys on you. You turn around, you hit them with mez. You hit one with mez, you run a little. You hit the next one with mez, you run a little. You hit the next one with mez, you run a little. You get them all mezzed, you Memblur them all, and you'll walk away. And they will forget you and go about their day being like, what was I doing before? I feel like I had 100 drinks. I wish I had 100 drinks. It would be a better headache than this. Anyway, I'm such a dork. Illusion Dark Elf. This will allow you, with your faction spell, to run the Stein of Magok quest. If you are playing in Classic before Kunark, this is the fastest you can run this. When you can either play as a Dark Elf Enchanter, or when you get the Illusion Dark Elf spell, you can do the Stein of Magok quest. Look it up. It gives you 10 into either your primary or offhand. It's a nice little spell. It's a nice little quest for a nice little item. It's not that hard, little expensive, not that hard to do. Not for an enchanter. Mist is an upgrade to your AC spell. Don't see us getting many more advancements until we get Charm at level 11. Intellectual achievement. Oh, that's in Luckland. Charm. You are now. Congratulations. Dun dun dun. You are now an enchanter. You hit 11, you get Charm. You don't need your sword pet anymore. You are now one of the big powerhouses of the game. If you can keep it mezzed, if you can keep it charmed, I taught you how to keep it charmed. You're better at it than every other class, including bards. Yeah, bards, I said it. Your charms last longer, theoretically, and you can keep it as a pet for quite a while. It's a nice spell. Thicken mana, it's used. That's this mass thicken mana and thicken mana. This is used in trade skills. It's not about grouping. Choke. Hey, you have a pet now. You don't need this anymore. Illusion High Elf. It's fine. And then Greater Mass Enchant Silver. You're probably not buying these enchanting stuff for trade skills until... If you're starting as an enchanter, not if you're being twinked, you're not going to buy these until you hit max level. Then you start doing trade skills, especially jewel crafting. Level 12, you get Bind Affinity. Nice. Greater Mass Enchant Clay. Illusion, blah. Enduring Breath. Yes, you are the only pure caster who can cast Enduring Breath on other people until necromancers get dead men floating in the 50s or 40s or whenever they get it. It's nice. It's useful in Kedge. It's useful when you're swimming or trying to get across like Ocean of Tears or Timorous Deep or Arid's Crossing. It's nice. It will come up. You should buy it. You have to go to like a druid or probably the druids in. If you're playing in erudite, you would go to a druid guild in what do you call that? Surefall Glade. If you're playing a high elf, you're going to go to the druids in Kelethin, and if you're playing a what do you call those people? Dark elf enchanter, you're going to have to go down to Shaman Land there with the trolls and the ogres to get this spell. It's worth it. It's worth having. You need fish scales as a catalyst. Nice spell. I've spent more time on it than I need to, honestly. Enthrall. This is a mez. Mezes are your bread and butter. Buy it. Love it. Love it forever. Rune 1. Runes are damage absorption shields. They are really cool. They use a gem as a reagent. Don't bother buying this because you're not going to use any runes until endgame, which is like Rune 4. Get that one. You will use these on raids in certain fights, certain mob fights. You may or may not even have a pet for some of these, like Benril Sathir. If you are doing this in an instance, you probably won't have a pet, but you might. You never know. You might go and grab one. Even then, you're not debuffing. You're doing 1 or 2 debuffs. It's a long fight. You just want to put a rune on your tank. You want to keep him runed. When the rune drops, put on another rune. In fact, they do complete heal chains as clerics. You're in raids. You're going to do a rune chain as chanters and various mobs. Level 14, Viz vs. Undead. Again, more... Oh, that's Keisha. Original. We're back to Enchanting Electrum. Yay. Look, you're the guy everybody goes to, or the girl everybody goes to get their stuff enchanted. It's a pain in the butt. It's just something else you have to do besides grouping. If you like trade skills, this is probably a class you should consider because a lot of trade skills need enchanted clay, enchanted metals, enchanted gems, enchant. They need them. That's cool. You supply that. Be willing to help out your guild and your guild crafters by enchanting things for them. Get these mass enchant spells. They make your life Much easier. You can enchant an entire stack in one go. As an enchanter, I really wish they made this available to everyone. That way, everybody could do it. It's the rules they put in place for. We didn't. I talked about this last night with Buse when we were doing our guide to trade skills in EverQuest. It's silly. It's just silly. The restrictions they put on here, just silly. It should be like what do you call it there? World of Warcraft, where all trade skills are available to all toons. All right, Breeze. Yeah, Kunark. This is your first mana regen increase spell. You get it at 14, and you're going to use it until you get Clarity. And you're going to use that until you get Clarity 2. You're going to use that until you get Clarity 3, etc., and so forth. You're going to cast it on yourself. You're going to cast it on your home group. 15, you get Levitate. Identify. Identify is not useless, but it's pretty darn close. Levitate is awesome. Keep a stack of bat wings on you so you can cast it. Quickness, you get your first haste. You get the best hastes in the game, except for bards. But again, you stack with bards. 16, and we're back to, at this point, until we hit... Oh, there's one thing to talk about here. So yeah, you get Disempower. It's a debuff. You get Chase the Moon. It's a fear. It's a nice fear. You get an exclusive line of fears. Congratulations. Sanity Warp. You decrease... It's a stun. It's a damaging stun. It's nice. You won't use it. You might use it. You might have a completely different playstyle than I do. Mesmerization. This is your area effect mez until the 50s. This is a crafted spell. You can't get it from drops. You have to find somebody doing spell research or do it yourself to get this spell. It is a class-defining spell that you can't get unless you go beg somebody for it. EverQuest changed their policy on this. They reduced the use of spell research in later game. And by later game, I mean at Planes of Power. So let's see. Let's count the expansions. Original, Kunark, Velius, Lucklin, Planes of Power. So by, a couple of years in, they figured out this ain't working. It is obnoxious to players who don't like to craft. And most players don't like to craft. Especially not spells. They're a pain in the butt. Anyway, rant over. The mobs all come in. They're following the puller in. He brings in 2, 3, 8, whatever. Who cares? You can target, I don't know how many mobs with this spell, but I've done 10. So, if you're too close to the mob when you cast it, you will mez yourself. Then you're going to have to back up and mez them all again. But this is only a 30-second mez, 20 to 30 seconds. So you mez them all, then you start clicking through your through the mobs, and you start mezzing them with a longer mez. You got a longer mez in there. So you make sure they all are on, they're all a second or two after each other. You actually wait. So you actually mez one, you count to 2, 1, 2. You're not doing 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. You can if you want to. But you got to get through all these mobs. 1, 2. Click it again. So you give it a little bit of a pause so that their mezzes are all staggered, so they don't all break mez at the same time and come and beat you in the face. Your job once they're mezzed is to cycle through, find the one with the least amount of time left on their mez, and hold on that one and pay attention to it. And when it gets down to 3 seconds left on it, you mez it again, and then you go into the next one that's the next lowest, and you mez him again when he gets to 3 seconds, because it takes 3 seconds to cast a mez. I may have played this class before. There's a chance. Endure Magic, you, clerics, and, well, a lot of people get this. Anyway, you usually have to go to the Cleric Guild to get Endure Magic. If it's not in the High Elf Cleric Guild, it will be in the Dwarf Cleric Guild. Most of the time. I think. Let's see where this is actually sold. No, that was a mistake. All right, scroll. One sold by Abysmal Sea, Akanon, Kabilis East. That's interesting. East Freeport, Eridan, Grob, Hallis, Nariac, North Caladim. I told you. And if it's not, by the way, I think Paladins might get this too. And if they do, and you can't find it in the Cleric Guild, go to the Paladin Guild. North Quanos, Agok, Peniel, Rivervale, Shadowhaven, Charval, Steamfont, the Plain of Knowledge, the Quanos Aqueduct System, the Wrath Mountains, Thurgadin, West Freeport. It is not sold in Felwith. It is sold in Caladim. Probably, if I remember correctly, in the Cleric Guild. Otherwise, you can just research it. But why? Just go buy it. Let's back again. Yep, sure enough. And I'm at level 17. Now I'm at level 43. Yay! Wow. Really? Stop, 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 stop. Please stop. Please. Please work. Thank you. Stupid, stupid website. All right. Let's just scroll up this way. 11, 737, 20. I could be blaming the website for my own incompetence here. Yeah. Ups your magic resist, endure magic. That's a Luckland spell, Thicken Ogre, Thicken Mana, Greater Illusion Ogre, Cloud, another AC, another animation. 17 is not a very exciting level except for endure magic. Level 18, Calm. It's in your lull line. Sympathetic Aura. That increases your charisma. Keep that up on yourself. Charisma may or may not be a check on charm. I've been told it is, and it's like the last check. First is a check against magic resist, so always lower your target's magic resist. Always lower your charm pet's magic resist by casting Tash on it before you charm them, if you can, or when you're recharming them when charm breaks. So you get another Tash, and again, you're just going to be getting upgrades. As I'm scrolling through here, you're just getting upgrades. Yeah. Benevolence, Color Shift. Yep. It's pretty nice. It's a nice class. You are the absolute strip enchantment at 22. Load this in. This is going to be your go-to enchant. Cancel magic for a while, long time, because it'll take off 4. It'll take off 4 buffs. Another charm at 23. Rune 2 at 22. Yeah, it's a nice class. You may have to go and buy Tepid Deeds from a shaman guild. Let's take a look at that. Ooh, not even from a shaman guild. Wow. It's crafted or it's sold. You got to get that crafted. Wow, that's just obnoxious. An important spell necessary for playing your class, and you have to get it crafted. Or craft it yourself. Anyway, there's not much more to say that I haven't said. You're the king of damage with your charmed pet. You're best at keeping a charmed pet up. Feedback at level 25. You get 1 and only 1 damage shield, and it's a crafted spell. What a pain in the butt. My love-hate relationship with enchanters is not the class itself, but the restriction on spells. It just drives me up a wall. Up a wall. I just want to play the game. I don't want to have to craft to play my class. I don't like crafting. Not that I haven't done it. I have. Not that I'm not going to be doing it on the new server. If I end up playing a paladin, which is my current plan, I'm going to be making bandit armor for myself. Probably on day 2. Or earlier than that. If I can actually no-life it, which I doubt I can, but if I can actually no-life it, I will be hitting level 10 before the end of day 1, and I should have enough rusty weapons that I've stripped down to basic ore that I can make a set of banded. Just takes about an hour. I've done it before. It's not that hard. Blah. I don't like having to craft to play the game. I'll probably also craft myself a spear while I'm at it, if that's a paladin usable weapon. The short spear for the forged short spear. Forged weapons and fine steel weapons have the same ratio, damage ratio. So, if you have your smithing up for about 10 plat, you can make yourself a forged short spear, which has short spears and long swords have it, but long swords are much more expensive. Short spears, if I can use it as a paladin, have the same ratio. It's the best one-handed ratio of any weapon you can forge at that level. And I have a woodpecker in my yard. I hope he's not on my house. Yeah, forged short spears, great for rogues. But if my paladin can use it, I'm going to give it to the paladin, and he'll be using that until he gets a dropped weapon. That's better. It's like 626, I think. It's 0.214 as a ratio, something like that. This has nothing to do with enchanters. I swear it's got nothing to do with enchanters. Yeah. You get other spells coming up later on. You get other abilities coming up later on that are nice. But the basic game is in your hands at that point. Strip enchantment, charm, haste, slow, mez, clarity. Yeah, that's what you're going to be doing. And it is the busiest class. You get moments where you're just kind of breathing in between. You live your life counting the seconds when you're playing this class. You get moments in between where you're just sitting there breathing. Everything's cool right now. What the heck is gonna hit me next? What the heck is gonna hit me next? I'm asking, what the heck is gonna hit me next? Why is those guys training those mobs over here? Why did my puller just run off as if feared? Oh no, my tank is dying. Cleric, you fell asleep. Whatever it is, it's your job to handle it until everybody else can kill it. It's everybody else's job to kill it. It is your job to handle it. That's what enchanters do. Can they fill other roles? Yes, they can. They're one of the best pullers in the game. They get the best line of lulls and pacifies. They can mez mobs as they're running. They can stop, mez the mob, get back to the camp, and they'll now be coming as the mez wears off. So you'll bring one back into camp, and you'll be like, I thought you went out there to pull a whole bunch. And you just go, wait. And if they bring their friends, you don't care. You're the mesmerization man. Bop, 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 bop. You're all asleep. It's like you picked up your little universal remote control here, like this one right here, and there's a button on here right there. Right there. You see that button right there? Right there? Right there. Pause. It's next to play. Oops. Play is here. Pause is here. I'm covering them with my fat finger. Play. Pause. Play. Pause. That's what you do all day. And Tash. And pause and Tash and pause and Tash and Tash and pause and Tash and pause and pause and Tash. And every once in a while, charm. All right, you truckers, keep on trucking out there. Have a great time. And if anybody knows anybody out in the movie industry who would like to hear some movie pitches when I'm not doing dumb stuff about EverQuest and having a fun time, I do write stories, come up with stories, and I have some amazing movie pitches. Y'all keep on trucking, you blam blam truckers.